Hello, Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia and this is TransurfingTV. Remember to like this video and comment below. My world is taking care of me. And subscribe and do all that good stuff. And teachable course, Reality 2.0, down below. Check it out. And if you'd like a coupon, send me a message through Instant Messenger on Facebook and I'll give you a fat discount. So today, shadow fusion. A lot of people ask me about shadow work, and some of you may know that I am new to the self-development world. I came in completely fresh. I have not studied a lot of other stuff. So I'm kind of just like a purist with Reality Transurfing. I know a lot of people talk about shadow work, and for a long time I'm like, whoa, what is that? You know, I don't know, and I haven't done it, but thinking about it now, I actually have done a ton of shadow work. I just didn't know that's what it was. And I didn't really formulate any ideas about it, about what I was doing, but I'm gonna do that for you right now. So today, shadow fusion, y'all. This is really about you fusing together the two parts, or two, that's ridiculous actually, because we have kind of an infinite number of parts of us, variations, just like we have an infinite number of life tracks we can access. It's the same with the self. That's how we access the different lifelines or life tracks, right? Is via our state of being, and whoever we are, whatever we're telling ourselves, whatever actions we're taking, whatever we're doing, whatever our frequency is, that your person, who you are in this moment, corresponds exactly to the lifeline you're on. And if you raise yourself up, you'll go to a higher lifeline. And if you tap into your lower self, you know, you go get drunk tonight and sleep with somebody you don't really necessarily like and all that stuff, you'll wake up on a lower lifeline. So as sometimes our shadow self, our darker side of ourself, that person that gets drunk and sleeps with somebody they don't like, sometimes that person takes over, right? And again, you access a corresponding lifeline. And what we want to do, what we strive to do as transurfers, is to keep that higher self at the helm, right? Keep that higher self at the realm, making the calls, and also telling lower self how things really are. And if you missed that video, I might even play this the day after my self-talk video, because they kind of come hand in hand. You know, your higher self and your lower self can have conversations. They already do, right? This is how you've evolved. This is how you found yourself here. This is how you found yourself to transurfing. This is how you've accomplished anything good in your life. Your higher self took over from your lower self, or your self that didn't believe you could do something, or something wasn't for you, or whatever your old programming was, right? You're evolving, and this is your higher self taking the helm of the wheel. So the first part that I want to declare is that both parts of you, or all parts of you, hold a prize, right? This is you approaching yourself from a standpoint of non-duality, right? We'll talk about in a moment, you know, how your lower self has the tendency to live in a more polarized world, and your higher self is really understanding the value of all the good and bad and not throwing it into one or another category and living in a place of non-duality. This is really, for me, this has been absolutely huge. But both or all parts of you do in fact hold a prize. And if you can start to really distinguish the voice of your lower self and your higher self, what I said here is your higher self finds the lesson in what your lower self created. So if you go out to a bar and you get drunk and you sleep with somebody you don't like, right? And you wake up in the next morning and you're like, oh my God, what have I done? Higher self kicks in to find the lesson here. Okay, this is an old program. This is a dysfunctional pattern. This is something that I don't want to keep doing. So let's evolve out of this, right? You allow your higher self to see and teach your lower self the lessons that your lower self has created. Okay, so lower versions of you, patterns, habits can be resolved with the higher self. So I will get into a few points of what your lower self or lower versions of you create and how to resolve these things, and then we'll get over to the positive side. So your I can't do it voice is not the voice of your higher self. This is the voice of your shadow, your lower self, the lower versions of you. And again, watch that video on self-talk. This is a big one. You can really switch over from your shadow self to your higher self just by switching the language in your mind, going from it's hard to it's easy, I can't, I can, it's not for me, it is for me, all that kind of stuff. Lower self lives in a polarized world. Okay, so this is really, this is a video in itself, really, but this polarized, the world of duality, this is good, this is bad, having to throw everything into one pile, this keeps you fractured, right? So I'm bad, I'm good. What am I? Am I a good person? Am I a bad person? No, you are a person attempting to resolve some habits and patterns and things via your higher self. You're not either good or you're bad, and your world is not either good or it's bad. Getting rid of duality, my God, this has been huge for me and my progress because, again, everything holds a prize. So once I stop throwing things into piles and I let my higher self grab on to whatever it is, either internal or external, and find the lesson in it, boom, I'm evolving, right? It's working. Hell yeah, it's working. So don't identify. This is a big one. This is a really big one. So if you get drunk and sleep with somebody you don't like, and you wake up in the morning feeling like shit and you're like, oh my God, I'm a horrible person. And then you go, well, that's just the way it is. This is really, really not what to do. This is absolutely the worst mistake you could make by overtly identifying with that shadow side of yourself and saying, well, I guess I'm a bad person, right? Because then you you've kept yourself fractured, but worse, you've actually just moved over. And really, if you tell yourself you're a bad person, you're going to become a bad person. You're going to stay a bad person. So don't identify with those shadowy parts of yourself and accept them. Know that they serve purpose. They're there for your higher self to help you resolve, therefore evolving and gaining some traction in your self-development. This is evolution. This is evolution. So your higher self can help heal and help lower the lower versions of you that were created in crisis or your programmed version. So let me state that again. Your higher self will heal or help the lower versions of you created in crisis or versions of you that are programmed, right? And the real key here is, and this is kind of my answer to everything at this point, is awareness. Awareness. It's huge, it's huge, it's huge, it's huge, it's huge. So bringing awareness to, let's say you have a thought, well, I can't do that, that's for somebody else. Was this a version of you created in crisis? Was this past programming? Was this something your parents put on you, your environment put on you? Did you try to do it once before when you hadn't yet developed the skills or the things that you needed to do the thing, so therefore you just declared, oh, I can't do that, it's not for me? Well, your higher self can actually help you resolve all that stuff, right? Your higher self absolutely can help you resolve that stuff. And how this is done is via the slides technique. Slides in reality transurfing. Having your really all a slide is your higher self creating a scenario that does not exist yet and showing your lower versions of yourself, hey, listen, this is a possibility. The more you can get the lower versions of yourself exposed to this slide and in agreement, all of your versions are going to just, okay, this is the train we're going on. This is the route we're going on. So your higher self can show your lower self slides, visualizations, different versions of reality. And this is so powerful, you guys. This is really, really powerful, because now whenever I start to doubt myself, higher self kicks in and is like, hey, check this out. Check this out, check this out, check this out. And sure enough, I'm getting all the stuff I want because my higher self just keeps showing my lower self it's possible via slides. Allow your higher self to take the wheel. This is a big one. Higher self's at the helm. At the end of your day, ask yourself, who was at the helm today? Was it higher self? Was it lower self? Usually lower self isn't at the helm. Lower self is hidden under a tarp in a little boat that's been demasted and is just getting tossed around in the waves, right? Lower self is not helming the ship. So again, before I close this out, higher self finds lessons in what lower self has created. This is really cool because this allows you a free pass to never feel bad about yourself, ever. Really, reality transurfing has done amazing things for my shadow self, allowing these parts of myself to exist, being okay with them, not saying, oh, I'm a bad person, or looking at myself from some like polarized perspective. And just being okay with those darker sides of me, yet having my higher self come in and help heal, resolve in the ways that I need to achieve my intentions, right? To achieve my intentions. Now, some of the other stuff, some of the other lower nature stuff, like gossiping or doing something else kind of shady or shitty, right? If it's not against my intention, I'll let myself do it. Who cares, right? I'm not having a battle with myself anymore. I let myself be me, all the different parts of who I am. I've changed this version to just a happy version that accepts the other sides of me, the lower versions of me, and actually takes some pleasure in them. This is really a big point. Take pleasure in them, learn from them, invite them for the ride. Let your higher self show you how it can be, and rock on with your bad self, y'all. Remember to like this video and comment below. My world is taking care of me. Please help get my algorithm up by commenting, liking, and subscribing to this video. And fuse with your shadow today and become a little more one with your shadow and let your higher self take the helm and start making it a practice to keep this kind of stuff in your mind as you move through your days. It is magical. So let me know your thoughts, everybody, and have a good day. Bye.